All right, listen closely. I want you to imagine waking up tomorrow morning with a mind that's already racing, thoughts tumbling one over the other. Deadlines, plans, the things you have to get done. And then all those things that you can't control. Someone else's mood, the weather, the unexpected twists that derail even your best efforts. It's overwhelming, isn't it? But what if there was a way to rise above all of that? What if you could break free from this constant struggle for control and finally find peace? Not in changing the world around you, but by mastering the world within. The ancient Stoics, they had something figured out, especially one man, Epictetus. He was born a slave, but get this, he became one of the most influential philosophers of his time. His life was the ultimate paradox. A man with no control over his own freedom, who found the key to ultimate freedom. How? Through detachment. Now, when I say detachment, I'm not talking about indifference. I'm not talking about walking away from everything or pretending that things don't matter. I'm talking about something much more powerful. The Stoics understood something that most of us have forgotten, that life is chaotic, unpredictable, and often unfair. But the one thing, the only thing we can always control, is our response to it. Epictetus taught this one truth. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. And if you understand this, I promise you, it's going to change the way you live. Think about it. How much of your stress, your frustration, your anger, comes from things that are completely beyond your control? A bad driver cuts you off on the highway and suddenly your whole day is ruined. You didn't choose that. You couldn't prevent it. But you chose how you reacted to it. What if you let go of that? What if, the moment something happened that was out of your control, you simply let it go? You acknowledged it, accepted it for what it was, and turned your attention back to the one thing you can control: yourself. Epictetus believed that true strength comes from this inner mastery. He compared life to a game of dice. You don't control how the dice fall, but you do control how you play the game. You control how you handle every situation, how you adjust, how you keep moving forward. This is the art of detachment, letting go of the things you cannot change and focusing all of your energy on the things that are within your power. Now, let me ask you, how many times in the last week have you been stressed out or frustrated about something that, in the end, you couldn't control? I bet the answer is more than you care to admit. But that's not your fault. It's human nature. We're wired to try to manage everything around us, to grasp for control even when it's slipping away. But here's the thing. The more you try to control what's uncontrollable, the more power you give away. You're giving away your peace of mind. You're giving away your focus. You're giving away your freedom. Picture this. You're a captain of a ship. The seas are rough, the winds are howling, the waves are crashing against your boat. You can't stop the storm. But you can hold the helm. You can keep steering. You focus on your ship, on what you can control. The storm, it'll pass, or it won't. But either way, you remain steady. This is what detachment offers us. It's not apathy. It's not resignation. It's the ultimate form of power. Because when you stop wasting energy on things you can't change, you free yourself to focus fully on what you can. Let me give you an example from your daily life. Let's say you're at work and something happens. Maybe your boss is in a bad mood. Maybe a project you've been working on just fell through. You didn't choose that, but you do have a choice. You can let it spiral into frustration, or you can stop and breathe and realize, this is not mine to control. What's mine? My response, my actions, my state of mind. You can apply this to your health, your fitness, your personal development. Let's talk about fitness for a second. You can't control how fast your muscles grow. You can't control whether you'll hit a new personal best every time you train. What you can control is how you show up. You can control your consistency, your discipline. And when you focus on these instead of obsessing over the results, something incredible happens. You start making real progress. It's the same with your mental health. You can't always control what life throws at you, but you can control how you respond. That's why detachment is so key to true self-mastery. Epictetus said, "Seek not for events to happen as you wish, but wish for events to happen as they do, and your life will flow smoothly." Let that sink in for a moment. What would it be like to stop fighting the current of life and just flow with it? To accept that there will always be storms, there will always be chaos. But you can find peace amidst it all, because you've mastered the art of detachment. You've learned to focus on the helm and not the wind. Now, that doesn't mean we stop caring about what we do, or that we let life walk all over us. No, quite the opposite. When we detach from the things we can't control, we actually become more effective. We become more focused, more powerful, because all that energy we wasted on worrying, it's now channeled into what truly matters: our actions, our mindset, our growth. So today, as you move through the world, I want you to try something. The next time something happens that's outside your control, maybe it's a delay, a rude comment, a missed opportunity, I want you to pause, take a breath, and let it go. Ask yourself, is this something I can control? If the answer is no, then release it. Don't give it your energy. Instead, focus on what's within your power, and watch how quickly your perspective shifts. This, my friends, is how you reclaim your power. This is how you stop being a victim of circumstance and start becoming the master of your own life. Let go of what doesn't serve you. Focus on what does. And in that space, you'll find a freedom you never thought possible. Now that we've explored what detachment is, let's talk about where it leads us. Because here's the truth. Detachment isn't just about protecting yourself from the chaos of the world. It's about transforming the way you experience life. It's about discovering a deeper freedom. A freedom that most people will never understand, but one that is available to you right now if you choose it. Let's go deeper. When you let go of trying to control everything outside of you, when you detach, you create space. Space for clarity. Space for peace. You're no longer a slave to your circumstances, and suddenly your mind is free. Free to think clearly. Free to act decisively. Free to embrace life exactly as it is, with all its highs and lows, without being shaken by every passing storm. And here's the beauty of it. When you stop trying to control everything, you don't lose power. You gain it. You gain the kind of power that doesn't come from force or control, but from mastery. Mastery over your own mind. Mastery over your emotions. Mastery over your life. Think about this. Most people go through life reacting to everything. Every disappointment, every setback, every small inconvenience sends them into a spiral. They become prisoners of their own minds, constantly pushed and pulled by things they can't control. But you don't have to live like that. You don't have to be at the mercy of the world around you. Epictetus had a profound way of putting this. No man is free who is not master of himself. Let that sink in. The freedom we're seeking, it's not out there. It's not in a job. It's not in more money. It's not in the approval of others. It's right here, in you. And it's been there all along. The more you practice detachment, the more you realize that your true strength comes from within. You start to see that you don't need to control everything around you to feel secure, to feel strong, or to feel at peace. You already have everything you need. The storms of life will come, but they will pass. And you remain steady, unshaken. Now, this doesn't mean you become passive or indifferent. On the contrary, when you detach from things beyond your control, you free up energy to focus on what truly matters: your actions, your decisions, your growth. You become sharper, more focused, more intentional. Every action you take comes from a place of clarity and strength, not from fear or frustration. Imagine that level of focus in your daily life. Picture yourself moving through challenges with calm confidence, no longer rattled by every little thing that doesn't go your way. Picture yourself in the gym, pushing your body to new heights, not because you're chasing some external validation, but because you've mastered the art of showing up for yourself. Imagine the discipline, the dedication that comes from knowing your power lies within. This is what detachment offers. It's not just a mental tool, it's a way of life. A life where you're no longer controlled by your environment, by the opinions of others, by the things you can't change. Instead, you become the master of your own mind, your own spirit. And through that mastery, you find a deeper connection to the world around you. You find a deeper sense of purpose, a deeper sense of peace. And this is what the Stoics understood. Epictetus didn't just preach detachment because it made life easier. He lived it because it made life fuller. When you stop trying to control everything, when you focus on what's truly in your power, you experience life in its purest form. You embrace it as it is, without resistance, without fear. You become more present, more aware, more alive. You see, detachment isn't about giving up on the world. It's about embracing the world fully, but from a place of inner strength. It's about knowing that no matter what happens, no matter what life throws at you, you are enough. You have the power to remain grounded, to remain focused, to remain free. And when you live like this, something incredible happens. The things that used to stress you out, the things that used to make you anxious or frustrated, they start to lose their power over you. You start to see them for what they are, temporary, fleeting. And you start to realize that your peace, your freedom, your happiness, they don't depend on those things. They depend on you. So I want to leave you with this. The next time you find yourself in a situation where things aren't going the way you planned, whether it's at work, in the gym, in your personal life, I want you to pause, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, is this within my control? If it's not, let it go. Don't waste your energy on it. Don't let it steal your peace. Instead, focus on what you can control. Focus on how you show up. Focus on how you respond. Focus on being the best version of yourself, regardless of what's happening around you. Because at the end of the day, that's all you can ever truly control, yourself. And when you master that, you'll find a freedom that no one can take away. You'll find a strength that no storm can shake. You'll find a peace that transcends circumstances. And that, my friends, is the true path to freedom. It's the path that Epictetus walked, the path that the Stoics lived by. It's a path that's available to you right now if you choose it. So choose it. Choose to let go of what doesn't serve you. Choose to focus on what does. Choose to be free. And as you do, watch how your life transforms.